Bitches, it's Holland. What's good and welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, today I will be giving a review of May and June K-pop comebacks. This video is likely to be pretty long because there were a lot of comebacks these 2 months, so grab a snack and get ready for some more shady opinions. Disclaimer, all of these reviews are based on my personal preference and choreographical and music taste, so please consider that before potentially getting messy in the comments. Also, if I didn't include a specific comeback, it's either because I didn't have many opinions on it, or because I'm not a fan of that specific group. Now let's get into it. First is Astro's Knock. At first, I was pretty disappointed with this comeback, but after a while, this comeback grew on me. My favorite part is the final chorus when they layer the rapping on top of the vocals, and the fact that the chorus was extremely powerful and climatic. I personally really like Astro's choreographies because it usually has a very prominent jazz influence while most other boy groups usually have a hip-hop influence. My favorite part of the choreography is the chorus because I love how fluid the transitions from move to move are. Meanwhile, I think that if this choreography was in the hands of any other group, they would try to make the move look super sharp and defined with little to no transition. The concept of the music video followed their usual elegant concept, which I am a fan of. The B-sides on the other hand, besides Lights On, were pretty basic to me. They weren't bad by any means, but I feel like I've heard at least 5 other songs that sound like them. Next is newest Simon Trouble. This comeback felt like it took everything from Deja Vu and made it better. Instead of just giving it a very short bland chorus, it went the more Chunga Stay Tonight route and did a 2-part chorus with the second part being extremely interesting. My favorite part was the second pre-chorus with Ren. The choreography looks very simplistic, but I tried learning it and it was actually pretty technically challenging to my surprise, so props to them for that. This music video, in my opinion, is their best produced one yet. The sets looked amazing and the editing was on point. I also loved everyone's hair, especially Junior's blue hair, and I thought Taran's bleached buzzcut suited him very well. At first, the B-sides were pretty bland, but I recently listened to them again and I really liked them, so I feel like I can only listen to them when I'm in a certain mood. My favorites are Moon Dance and Back to Me. Next is Bandits Jungle. Child, I need to take a breath before I begin to express the excellence of this comeback. This comeback was such a masterpiece in all aspects, perfect 10. Okay, I'll start with the song itself. This instrumental is phenomenal, the pre-chorus is amazing, the chorus is so rich in texture, and I like how they did a 2-part dance break that intensified in the second half. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Bandit is the 4th generation's vocal queens and that's on period. In the music video, I love the contrast between the red and green, the outfits matching the background, Songyi's green eyeshadow, and these little movie flash transitions. The B-sides were good, and my favorites are Children and Come and Get It. Next is TXT's Can't You See Me. This comeback was decent to me. I liked Can't You See Me and Puma, serving me Billie Eilish D's. Speaking of experimental, I really liked how they changed up the styling for this era. Instead of doing the traditional dark boy group styling, they added a little bit of spice to it to keep things interesting. The only thing I didn't like about this comeback was the B-sides, which I found really surprising because their last album with Runaway was extremely good. Next was NCT 127's Punch. I sadly didn't really like this song too much. It wasn't because the structure of the song was very different from the average traditional K-pop title track. In fact, NCT 127's choruses are the main reason why I choose not to stan them, but rather casually listen to their music. This is because their choruses usually just consist of them chanting in unison. The choreography in my opinion was a step down from Kick It when it comes to technicality. Since this album was a repackage of the Kick It album, there were only 3 new B-sides. My favorite track was Non-Stop. In fact, I think it is actually a better fit for a title track than Punch, but I understand they wanted to keep up the martial arts concept. Next was August D's Die Twitch Off. This was one of my favorite comebacks in May. I loved this mixtape so much. Suga once again solidified his place as my favorite male K-pop rapper by hitting all the points that make a good rapper in this mixtape: tempo, versatility, delivery, and diction, and took them to another dimension. You can easily tell that he's been working on this mixtape for 4 years with the fact that basically every track is a whole banger. My favorite track is What Do You Think, even though I don't condone the sampling scandal that it caused. But I think that Bigid handled scandal very well by taking the sampled version off of all streaming platforms and replacing it. For the music video, Bigid really created a whole movie set for it, but are we surprised? They did the same thing with the On music video in March. If this is what Suga was able to serve, I don't even know if I want to see what Jungkook has to offer for his mixtape. Next was Kim Wooseok's Red Moon. I didn't like this song that much, mainly because of the chorus. Usually I'm a fan of super rich and textured chorus with many layers, but this one had too many layers and I feel like the instrumental at times didn't really go with his vocals. The music video, like most top media music videos, was insanely good. I loved the black set with the carnival tent and the garden setting as well. For styling, I really liked the scene with Wooseok in the robe with his purple eyeshadow and green contacts, and his leather outfit with lip piercing. Though I didn't like the title track, the B-sides certainly made up for it. Next was Baekhyun's comeback with Candy. I was really anticipating this comeback because his City Lights debut was insanely good and I still listen to Ice Queen and Diamond to this day, so when I saw he was getting a comeback, I was extremely excited. I was also interested to see how he'd pull off a lighter and brighter concept since On Village was a darker concept. My thoughts on Candy and these B-sides are that they aren't bad songs, but they just didn't appeal to my personal taste this time around. But I will say Poppin' sounds like one of those songs that play at a black family reunion cookout lol. The Cha-Cha Slide could never. It goes like bam, 다시 달릴게, 우릴 잊지 않아, 마지막까지 난 뜨겁게 타올라. Next was Monsta X's Fantasia. I didn't really like this song that much because, though I like powerful and intense title tracks, the problem with this one was that practically the entire song was intense, resulting in there being little to no build-up to the chorus. So I think I would have enjoyed it better if the verses were a bit calmer and the chorus remained intense to create a sense of dynamism. The music video and concept reminded me of a lot of something that Tease would release, and I liked the brownish gold color scheme it had. The B-sides did make up for it. My favorites are Flow and Beautiful Night. Next was Moonbyul's comeback with Absence. This was just a repackage of her original Dark Side of the Moon comeback from April, so I wasn't expecting too much because repackages aren't usually that good. But leave it to Moonbyul to surprise me lol. Both Satellite and Absence are very good songs that I've been listening to consistently for about a month now. The choreography was pretty and coupled well with Absence, being a moderately paced song. Next was Twice South Korean comeback with More and More and their Japanese comeback with Fanfare. At first, I thought that More and More was just another summer tropical house comeback, even though I thought this trend had died years ago lol. But as I kept listening to it, I grew to like it and now I frequently listen to it on my playlist. The only part of the song I didn't like was the rap because it felt out of place to me, and I didn't like Chain's nasally intonation either. This is also my favorite choreography from Twice, but I don't like how JYP is kind of forcing harder choreographies onto them. Like I heard that Momo even passed out. I don't mind them advancing to more difficult choreographies, but I'd rather them do it in a healthy way where they can practice enough to learn how to manage it. I was hoping that these B-sides on the album would live up to their last album and feel special, but sadly it didn't for me. My favorite B-sides are Oxygen and Firework. Moving on, I didn't really like Fanfare. The verses were okay, but the chorus wasn't that good to me because it sort of sounded like they had a filter over their voices.
If we could turn back time, 再继续，再回转，跟着命运向时空回。
Next was Wavy's comeback with Turn Back Time. This was one of my favorite comebacks in June. I love how rich and full their voices fill the chorus while at the same time not overpowering the instrumental. Also, that stop, rewind, turn, back time line from Lucas is iconic. I really liked Kun, Ten, and Zaya Jun's vocals this era as well as Hendry's rapping. Similar to what I said in my comparing rookie boy groups video, I really like how SM lets them experiment with a bunch of different kinds of outfits and styles that other companies are too afraid to do. I really liked Ten's mesh shirts with the jean jacket on top, Kun's dark blue hair, and Yang Yang's two-toned hair. I loved how the lighting in some of the scenes of the music video was dark, but you were still able to easily see everything that was going on. But I wasn't really surprised because SM was able to pull off the same thing with EXO's Obsession. Once again Wavy delivered when it came to B-sides. My favorite tracks on this album are Unbreakable, After Midnight, and Domino. Next was IZOM's comeback with The Secret Story of the Swan. I have to say that this is probably my least favorite Korean title track from IZOM. This is because I feel like they differed way too much from their original sound, and went from a soft yet powerful sound to the traditional bassy girl crush sound. This was the first song where I've heard them rap and surprisingly I feel like they pulled it off very well. The music video reminded me of a lot of Everglow's Dun Dun, especially with the pink and purple color grading and the shots of them in the sky. This choreography was just as good as their last ones, and I liked how this time around, instead of relying only on formations, they actually made the choreography itself challenging. Sadly, this album didn't appeal to me as much as their last one, so the only track I liked was her Coco. Next was 17's Left and Right. I'm usually not a fan of these types of traditional pop songs from boy groups, but this one surprised me. I liked how they kept changing up the speed of each of the members' verses to create a sense of dynamism. Normally, I wouldn't be a fan of these kinds of simplistic urban choreographies, but I don't really mind because 1, it goes with the song, and 2, 17 have already proven time and time again that they have the ability to pull off complex and challenging choreographies. The strongest aspect of this comeback was the mini-album. All the tracks of this comeback appealed to my personal taste, which I am extremely thankful for because, for the last few months, most of the albums that have been released have left me feeling lukewarm. Next was Blackpink's collaboration with Lady Gaga with Sour Candy as well as their pre-release with How You Like That. I personally didn't like Sour Candy that much even though the chorus instrumental gave me Chunga Stay Tonight voguing vibes. However, the song as a whole was pretty average and didn't appeal to my tastes that much. Moving on, when I first watched the music video at 4 in the morning, I thought the first 3 verses with Jennie, Rosie, and Jisoo were really good as well as the bridge, but that was about it. The chorus took me off guard and I hated the quiet empty instrumental, and I felt like Lisa's rap and the dance break were pretty average. But I decided to give it a second listen with headphones on because I've realized that most songs don't sound the same with headphones on. This time was completely different, instrumental in the chorus, and the song, in general, was way more full and rich. But the con with this is that I can only listen to this song with headphones, so I feel like the producers should have turned the volume up of the instrumental so that you can actually hear it. That being said, I think this is definitely my favorite title track from them. CYG, this is what happens when you introduce more producers for Blackpink's music. The choreography was my least favorite part of this comeback because I really wanted to finally let them show off their full potential as dancers instead of just giving them another simplistic choreography. The most impressive thing about this pre-release was definitely the styling. I like how the stylists took looks that already have done before and added their own spice to it. Lastly, I feel like Blackpink definitely practiced a lot with their stability and vocals. All the Mr. Removed videos I've seen, they've sounded incredible, but that probably because this choreography was one of the easiest in my opinion. Next was AB6 with The Answer. I wasn't expecting too much from this comeback because, as I said for 17's Left and Right, I usually am not a fan of these fun and bright concepts from boy groups. However, though I still ended up not liking this song, I feel like it was still better than what I thought it was going to be. I also am happy that Woojin, my bias wrecker, got a decent amount of screen time and lines this air because in Blind for Love he only really got one solid verse. But even though I knew I wasn't going to like this song that much, I was still pretty excited for this comeback because AB6 always serves when it comes to B-sides. In fact, their last album with Blind for Love was one of my favorite albums in 2019. This time was no exception and they proceeded to give me an album of wholesome B-sides that I can add to my playlist. My favorites are Hold Tight, Midnight Blue, and Surreal. Next was Woods' Love Me Harder. I feel like this title track wasn't as good as some of his other title tracks like Pool or Different, especially compared to all of the other ex-members of X1's recent releases. It's not a bad song, just an average one, and I feel like a different track on this album like Accident or Waikiki would have been a better choice of the title track. Regardless, I still think this is his best music video so far. The styling was really good, especially in the scenes where he had longer hair, and the camera work was extremely professional. But I still think that since he's under the same company as Everglow, Yuehua Entertainment, I think they could have upped the budget a little bit more, especially since he is one of their most successful artists. Last but not least was Hwasa's Maria. I really liked this solo comeback from Hwasa. The chorus is extremely catchy and got stuck in my head after about 2 listens, but I feel like the dance break didn't flow with the rest of the song very well. I loved the concept of the music video. My theory is that Maria is Hwasa's alter ego with the red hair, who killed Hwasa, which is why she is located in a crime scene. I loved the choreography with the breakdown in the second half of the chorus. She was serving body 80-80-80, and I was here for it. My favorite B-sides are Why and Nobody Else. Okay you guys, this is the end of the video. If you would like to receive a personal astrology or tarot card reading from me, click the link in the description to book one. You can also follow me on Instagram, there will be another link as well. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember to stay snatched.